Okay, we've just arrived in Montauk, the end of Long Island, for a 2-day stay. Montauk South Beach. Montauk Point Lighthouse. Remembrance of those lost at sea while fishing these waters. The top of Montauk Lighthouse, the most easterly point on the American continent. Coming into Connecticut, New London, on the ferry which we just left from Long Island.
I better spray the veg tank for that, do you think?
John F. Kennedy House, Beach House, Cape Cod. Plymouth town, on our way to Boston. Driving up the east coast towards Boston. Just dropped into a small village called Hyannis, Pilgrim Bank. Very old buildings. A rather large church called St. Stephen's. Coming into Boston.
In half a mile, then turn right.
There's the Sheraton.
Yeah, Sheridan. Shall we go?
Turn left in half a mile and then turn right.
Yeah. Did Bernadette go to Boston?
Yes, at the start.
Yes.
I think so, Mum.
See the billboard? Fenway's just to the left, Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox. Oldest ballpark in the Major Leagues. Opened in April of 1912. Do you know the first pitch at Fenway was thrown out by John F. Kennedy's grandfather? John F. Fitzgerald. He was the mayor. This is Boylston Street. Straight ahead. It's the home stretch for the marathon. You've heard of the marathon, right? This is the 122nd running this April. And this is the home stretch right through here. It ends in front of the library. In front of the Boston Public Library. It stops at Hopkinton. Hopkinton's 26 miles to the west of Boston. Can you imagine they run 26 miles? Woo! Any runners? Do we have any runners? 26 miles. I drove to Hopkinton.
Wow, that's a massive apple store.
I was very proud of myself. But they have 30,000 runners in the marathon now. The headquarters used to be at the Lenox over here on the right. That's where the runners would gather, you know, they'd gather at the bar, they'd, you know, meet up with each other. That's back when they had like 200 runners. Now they've got 30,000. I don't think they'd all fit in there. But Judy Garland used to like to go to the Lenox. That was one of her favorite getaways when she was wanted to get away from everything. She'd come up to Boston, she'd go to the Lenox. Woo! We crossed the finish line. Tell your friends. Didn't even break a sweat. Old South Church. That opened up in 1875. You know, when they built the Back Bay, a lot of the churches from the old part of the city, they moved to the new part of the city. They got bigger and bigger and more ordained buildings in the United States. They moved in 1952. They built their new building. Just before we go in the water, we'll see the Museum of Science. Over on the river between Cambridge and Boston. It's not a really fancy church. It's very nice. But they have the stained glass windows by Tiffany. Tiffany windows. And they didn't buy them online, you know, from the catalog. Louis Comfort Tiffany himself created the windows. 16 of them at the Arlington Street Church, 8 on each side. They were going to have 20, but look up at the top. You see the last 2 on the end? They're blank. They're plain glass. He died before he could do the last 4. 1930. And the Depression came and there was no more public garden. Established in 1837. It's the oldest public mechanical garden in the United States. The Swan boats right over here, on the right, the left rather. They were started with the City Opera Lohengrin by Wagner, and at the end the greatest architect was Bullfinch. He was largely self-taught. He went to Harvard, but not to study architecture. He taught himself architecture. But one of the great architects in American history, certainly the greatest architect in Boston's history. But the cornerstone was laid in 1798 by Paul Revere and Sam Adams. There's a cannon on the left over here. That was the site of the mansion of John Hancock. John Hancock was a very wealthy merchant, probably one of the richest men in America. And when he died, the state bought his property. They had Bullfinch put up the state house. You know, like when the president comes to visit or a head of state, they open up the big doors. The governor's office is on the 2nd floor to the left. Governor Charlie Baker. He may be coming out. Sometimes he does come out onto the balcony. According to the New York Times, Governor Baker is the most popular governor in the United States. He has a 75% approval rating. He's also a Republican, which seems unusual, you know, because Massachusetts is a very blue state, very much a Democratic state. But 5 out of the last 6 governors of Massachusetts have been Republican. 5 out of the last 6. So there's more diversity, you know, than you might think. Right over here on the left. Right here in Cambridge. Now it's here because these 2 buildings, this one and the one down on the right, they're part of an organization called EF, Education First. And
Quack, quack.
here we go.
Hey, are you guys teachers from Franklin?
Are you what? Teachers from what? Don't harass me. From Franklin.
Franklin
Teacher,
no,
that was the
college
first
is in
public
Franklin.
school was in Franklin.
What?
Okay, welcome to the Charles. On this rather nice day. Very nice, actually. Nice day for a cruise on the Charles. We'll zip along at about 6 knots. Well, 5 knots, 6 miles an hour about. Charles River Dam on our left. Other side of the dam is the harbor. If you want to go from the river to the sea, the river to the harbor, you go through the locks. Right over here on the left. They'll take you under the bridge, through the dam, into the ocean. But the Charles River Dam, the new one, opened up in 1978, just in the nick of time. Because about a month after it opened, we had the biggest snowstorm in the history of Boston. 3 times a year we do training for the Coast Guard. We do man overboard, fire drills, you know, stuff like that. So that's what I think's going on there. I don't think it was the tour. Hope not. But the biggest flood in the history of Boston. It's kind of a funny story. It's a nice, not funny, but odd story, I should say. It's not funny at all, really. 1919 in January, over in the North End on Commercial Street, you know, not far from the garden, there used to be this big metal tank, this big old rickety thing, 50 feet high, 70 feet across. It held molasses. You know, molasses from Barbados, that old sticky stuff. 2.5 million gallons. And they filled up the tank, right? It burst. It exploded. Sent a wave of molasses 20 feet high, 35 miles an hour, flooding into the north end of Boston. Molasses in January, not that slow, if you've got enough of it. You know? But that was the Great Molasses Flood. The Boston Massacre. It killed 21 people. 21 people were killed, 150 people injured, millions of dollars in damage. And believe it or not, that was actually the most devastating flood in the modern history of Boston. It was a molasses flood. Very odd. Nothing like that. Okay. Do you know the Wiggles were in town yesterday? A couple days ago. Speaking of Australia. Yeah. My grandson's going to be mad when he finds out we didn't take them. But anyway. But they were in town at the Schubert. They're an awful lot of fun. We had a governor named Swift, the only woman governor in Massachusetts history. Her name was Jane Swift. She was governor 2001-2003. I'm surprised we've only had the one. But this is the Longfellow Bridge. That was built in 1960. It was a British victory. They took the hill. It took them 3 tries. 1,100 casualties. It was the bloodiest battle of the whole Revolution for the British Army. But it's not Bunker Hill. It's Breed's Hill. Bunker Hill is about a mile to the west. The Americans were going to fortify Bunker Hill, but they changed their mind. They fortified Breed's Hill. They don't tell anybody, so it gets reported as the Battle of Bunker Hill. So it's a monument to a battle we lost, and it's on the wrong hill. It's very Boston. But it was a British victory, but a great moral victory for the Americans. Prove that our little ragtag militia, you know, farmers and dock workers and duckboat drivers could be with the strongest army in the world. Here's the new jail right over here on the right. Remember I showed you the old jail that became a hotel? This is the new jail. It looks like it should be a hotel. I think it looks like a Marriott, kind of. Courtyard by the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department. Sometimes they call it the Glamour, and the Lexington was actually in the movie. It was the party boat toward the end. But if you want to see a funny movie, just for the take on the Boston accent, okay, there's a couple of scenes in that movie that are just very funny. But it's called The Heat.
The rocky nook with hilltops 3 looked eastward from the farms, and twice each day the flowing sea